Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and yep, we're going to be talking about the whole Trump wiretapping thing, and oh god damn it, I tried to avoid this. I honest to God, tried to avoid it. It's embarrassing, to be honest. To be honest with you guys, it's embarrassing to be an American, to have this man be our president, and to be putting out this kind of shit. And it's not just this. This is a culmination, right? It's a culmination of the inauguration numbers, the illegal voters, the electoral victory, all of the things he puts out there that are proven false, or at least never have evidence to support them, right? And once again, we find ourselves in a very similar situation with this wiretapping bullshit. Now, Saturday morning, Trump got up, and I love how the media, this is where I get mad at them, they make sure to note what time of day he's tweeting. I just find that to be funny that that's actually something that's entered into the public record. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Saturday morning, Trump gets up and starts all of a sudden tweeting about how Obama wiretapped him, right? Starts claiming Watergate, fucking Obama is a bad, parentheses, sick guy. All of these things. And provides no evidence to support it. Then, of course, it gets everyone talking about it. Everyone's like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And they're trying to figure it out, trying to scramble. The White House is legitimately trying to look into everything to get as much information about it as they can. When they realize that they can't, right? They stop and they turn to Congress to do it. And then all of a sudden they go mum's the word and they zip up and they don't talk about it at all. Sean Spicer's like, well, we're not gonna comment on this any further. We're not gonna talk about this anymore. Like, yeah, okay, Sean, your job is to be that particular branch of the White House, and you're not going to talk about something because you literally have no idea what you're talking about at this point. And they don't, which is why they've put the emphasis on providing evidence on Congress. Marco Rubio's like, okay, we'll look into it, Jesus Christ, but like, we have to figure this thing out. They can't find any information about a FISA warrant. In fact, no one can. There was an attempt at one in June, but it was shot down. And then the reports are saying that it was brought back up in October because they narrowed their scope and a judge granted it. But FBI Director James Comey and former CIA Director, or National Security Director, I don't know, Jake Tapper, right? Not Jake Tapper, Jake Clapper, both denied it, right? And Comey is trying to get the fucking Department of Justice to refute it. Right? But the Department of Justice can't because of Jeff Sessions' recusal of any and all things Russian, and they don't have a deputy attorney general in order to step in to make that call. In fact, that dude had his confirmation hearings today because there are so many fucking positions in our government 6 weeks into Trump's fucking presidency that have not been filled yet. There's like, I'm not talking like nearly 2,000. There are a lot of jobs that need to be filled for our government to run at peak efficiency, and they're not being filled. And that is just, again, another sign of how our government is being run under Trump. And it's not good. It's not good. Because here's the thing that cracks me up the most. Trump, CPAC, a couple weeks ago, made the claim, I don't like anonymous sources. He made that claim, says he doesn't like anonymous sources. Never mind the fact that he was his own anonymous source when it came to publicity bullshit back with People magazine in the 80s and early 90s. All right, so he was his own anonymous source for a while, so that's okay. But everything that Breitbart talked about that kind of set him off, everything that Breitbart pulled from, which was a thing from Mark Levin, who was a conservative radio show host, likes to push just about as many conspiracy theories as fucking Alex Jones, was pulling from an article on HeatStreet.com from former editor-in-chief Louise Mensch from November 7th of last year. Here's the thing with Louise Mensch. She shilled hard for Hillary, and when Hillary lost the election, Louise's mind went with it. And so she's no longer in charge of Heat Street, and she is basically on Twitter every day talking about how Russia is attempting to hack her fucking toaster. So these are the players that are involved. They're involved. And this is right before the fucking election, where she was already getting kind of crazy. And she says here that 2 separate sources with links to counterintelligence community have confirmed to Heat Street that the FBI sought and was granted a FISA court warrant in October, giving counterintelligence permission to examine the activities of U.S. persons in Donald Trump's campaign with ties to Russia. So if the FBI sought a FISA court warrant in October, James Comey would have knowledge of that, being the FBI director. He does not. So I would kind of say at that point, if the FBI director, who was kind of instrumental in helping Trump get elected by, writing that letter to Congress the weekend before the election, if he's coming out and saying, like, I'm a Newton bitte, there might be a problem here. You may want to hold the fuck back. But that's not stopping the conservative media from running with this, because that is essentially what they do. And yes, to be fair, the left-leaning media does the exact same thing in these particular situations. But what cracks me up the most is that two separate sources is the first three words in Louise's article. They're not named. They're anonymous. So our president, who hates anonymous sources and has said so at a very public stage at CPAC, is referencing an entire situation for which core evidence links back to two anonymous sources. Man, the irony there, fucking crazy. Now, Trump loves to think that Obama was out to get him. Trump loves to think that Obama was trying to shut him down. He does this shit all the fucking time, right? It's kind of funny when the shoe's on the other foot, isn't it? I mean, you had Trump spent 5 years pushing the birther nonsense, and then now he's in the fucking White House, and he's upset as hell because they can't stop the leaks that are coming out. He's upset as hell that his very, very, very fucking boring joint address speech that was him just rattling off a teleprompter for an hour and made everyone fucking love him all of a sudden. That cracked me up because that was boring as shit, but it was actually a little bit more inspiring than his inauguration speech. Clearly, Stephen Miller went and found a thesaurus and decided to exchange gore and carnage with maybe hope and prosperity. All right, like, this is the president that we have, a person who claims to hate anonymous sources, but is going to follow anonymous sources and all the shit that comes with it, right? This is the problem. Instead of acting objectively and getting the information and then going to his people saying, can you look into this and find out if this is true or not, he takes it to Twitter, then 30 minutes later sees a squirrel and complains about Arnold Schwarzenegger being fucking fired from The Apprentice instead of having quit due to poor ratings. Not kidding you. His couple tweets about the fucking tapping were there, in which case he misspelled tapping, and then 30 minutes later was whining about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Our president, ladies and gentlemen, our 45th president, this is who we have. And I get it. You might like Trump. If you've made it this far and you like Trump, good for you. You might like Trump. I don't like the guy. I've made that abundantly clear, but I want him to succeed. And I feel that he, at this point in time, is surrounding himself with people that are only out for their own self-interests, and the people that are only out to benefit themselves and not him or the American people. And I have a feeling that they've manipulated him to the point of where he only sees what they want him to see, which is one of the reasons why when Trump finally does break away and looks at the world through, like, maybe a clear lens of reality, he is confused. Especially when you go back to the whole situation involving the inauguration numbers, when he was at the CIA. Listen to him talk. Listen to him talk. He was legitimately confused. And it bothered him. You could tell it bothered him, but he was legitimately confused. He's like, I looked out there. I saw. Million and a half people. I saw. But they're telling me it's 250,000 people. Yeah, because we all have eyes too. And yeah, 250,000 is not a small number, but there weren't no 1.5 million people. That's the point. Trump runs and says what's on his mind. And yes, a lot of people out there voted for him because they like that, and I get that. But a lot of other people out there look at this as a dangerous thing, as a very dangerous thing, because this is a person who doesn't understand diplomacy, he understands business. And I get that, and people want him to run a business, or run the country like he would a business. And it just kind of bothers me, because he shouldn't do that. There are certain rules and regulations that have to happen. Obama couldn't issue the fucking FISA, the wiretapping order, even if he wanted to. It's illegal. They have to go through a fucking judge to get it. Now, we don't know if Obama had any knowledge of any of this. According to a spokesperson for his camp, they said that it's categorically false, never fucking happened, all right? That it's a rule of the Obama administration to not interfere with independent investigations into these matters. We do know that Russia did, in fact, influence the election through hacking of Podesta's emails, the DNC, giving them the WikiLeaks. We know that that had a clear influence on a lot of things. Didn't hack the election, as a lot of the media likes to say, but there was a clear influence. That did happen. And now here we are, month and a half into his fucking presidency. We have lie after lie after lie, controversy, scandal, people stepping down, people recusing themselves, Russia. Like we're all Jan fucking Brady. We say it so goddamn much. But we have to start holding this guy to account. And it's not just him, but people in his cabinet, people that are working underneath him, because there are people there that are outright fucking they're taking hit after hit for him, which is their job. But at the same time, he's running the free world. And he has to start acting like it. And that's talking about this wiretapping shit with no evidence and then putting it on Congress. And then Congress is almost coming back with like, shut the fuck up. We're going to look into it. You know, you can see that. And then dropping the travel restriction and repeal and replace the day after as a way to distract, because he's dropping two huge fucking things at once, shows you that it is a fucking nuclear blast size deflection. But people are smart and they're going to look through it and they're going to see it. And I get it. Look, if you're a Trump supporter and you dislike everything I said, that's fine. That's cool. I'm happy for you. But I would love it if you would start to ask yourself how you can hold him accountable. And just saying that he's doing what he said he was going to do isn't enough. Because that isn't enough. And him doing what he said he's going to do isn't necessarily benefiting anyone at this point in time. Now, 45,000 jobs coming to the fucking Gulf Coast, right, is what he said today as well. You know, that's going to be $45 billion investment from ExxonMobil. Funny thing is, Rex Tillerson, former CEO ExxonMobil, now Secretary of State. There's a little bit of stuff there that's too coincidental. Okay, same address that Trump said this about ExxonMobil says that jobs are coming back. GM jobs are coming back to Michigan. Funny, GM announced today 800 jobs are leaving Michigan and going to Tennessee. Trump does not have a solid grasp of everything that's going on around him, but he acts like he does. He isn't the smartest person in the room, and people need to stop coddling him. They need to start teaching him how to be a president. Look, as much as I didn't care for his joint session speech the other day, it was a step in the right direction. Okay, outside of the political grandstanding, using the people in the fucking audience, whatever. But we need to hold him to a higher standard. And when he does shit like this, when he makes these outrageous, evidence-less claims, we as a people need to stand up and shout, no, you fucking daft idiot, stop it. Because you're not only embarrassing you, you're embarrassing us. And that's just the truth. But I do want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Go ahead and write them down in the comments below. They ought to be a fun one. My name is Mundane Matt. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up the video. Subscribe if you're new. Check back often for more content from me. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.